All right, Google Ads in 5 minutes, everything you need to understand. And no, the timer starts now. Let's get it. All right, how Google Ads actually thinks and what you need to know. First of all, it's a data machine, right? So what you need to understand is a lot of beginners and a lot of people in general, a lot of advertisers in general focus on what's in the ad account, right? What can you change there? Campaign structure, targets, bids, whatever. But you have to understand it's always about the foundation, right? 80 to 90% of the success obviously comes from the foundation, which means your offer, your pricing, your social proof, your authority, the trust that you built, right? That's always more important than everything else. And then everything you do in the ad account, doesn't matter if it's creatives, campaign structure, bids, targets, whatever, is like the cherry on top, the last 10 to 20%, right? That's usually how it works. So that's the first principle. All right, to boil it down, short and simple, the main thing for you is like clean feed data and the underlying foundation, right? Skip the buttons and trust the system. Not quite that, but what it means is basically, okay, like with tweaking the buttons in the ad account, you will not get where you want to be. And trust the system is like, yeah, not directly. You don't want to trust the system, but you don't want to fight it either, right? So you don't want to try to like tweak this, tweak that in the ad account. In the end, you need to have the foundation, feed it the data. That's 80% of it. All right, for people in the Ecom space, primarily that means the feed is the foundation, right? That means product titles, product images, and product price primarily. Especially the product title in the feed drives your targeting, right? So again, kind of like goes hand in hand with the first principle. It's about having a clean foundation there, good product images, a good offer in terms of pricing, and then a product title that defines your targeting, right? If your title is shit, your targeting will be all over the place. If you have a clean product title, a good descriptive product title as well that contains your main keyword, you will have a better targeting in place there. All right, Google scales who it trusts means if your signals are broken, right? If Google doesn't see you as a trustworthy advertiser, for example, if your page speed is fucked, if your basic SEO is fucked, right? If your product listing in general is not optimized well, you have blurry product images, Google will not push you the way it could, right? Or it will punish you, limit you in some shape or form. Means like higher CPC primarily, right? Because with higher cost per traffic, they kind of like keep you in check, or they will suspend you in the first place, right? So limit your performance in some shape or form. So that's super important. You have to be a trustworthy advertiser, right? You need to have strong signals like that. That comes with the product feed, high quality images, good offer, good pricing, clean website, right? Good page speed, and so on. There's much more to it. So you have to earn its trust, don't fight it basically. All right, but number 4, don't confuse the algorithm. And that's also a mistake a lot of beginners do, is they make a lot of changes, right? Again, comes hand in hand with the first principle. Don't tweak this, tweak that, change that. You need to be more calculated. Okay, what do you want to change? Why do you want to change? Look at the data. Give it some time. Be patient with it, right? And then see what you get as an output. So don't too many changes at once. It's a very algorithmic based game nowadays. And if you make too many changes, the algorithm cannot learn, right? So if it's too much, too fast, Google will have issues with learning. All right, so what that means for you is like stay lean, move slow, like I said, in a calculated fashion, right? It means for you few proven products, well optimized. Doesn't matter, like even if you're in the lead gen game, right? It doesn't matter the niche. Then it's like a one optimized offer instead of like 5 weird unoptimized offers with like no clear target audience and nothing done, right? Doesn't matter if it's ecom, lead gen, whatever. The niche doesn't matter. The principles are always the same, right? Then in terms of changes, you change one thing, ideally based on data, right? So you look at the input data, you look at what you got, and then you change it, optimize it accordingly. And then you let the data build, right? Again, ideally 3 to 4 days. Depends on your budget as well, right? The higher the budget, the more data you can get in a short period of time. If your budget is lower, it takes a little bit longer, right? But we always say at least 3 to 4 days. If you make a change, observe it, see how it goes, see how it develops and what kind of output you get. And last principle, chase profit, not ROAS. Makes a lot of sense, right? But in the end, it's about profit. We always look at ROAS as well. It's a very convenient metric in the ad account and it gives you like a quick feedback, but don't get fooled by it. Like sometimes you have very different profit margin on very different products, different offers. Doesn't matter. And also like the costs in the back end, they matter, right? Because it's still like there's always like a hyper focus on ROAS, like leads asking the call, like, okay, what kind of ROAS can you get? And other agencies advertising ads as well, right? Oh, we can get a ROAS of like 5, 6, 7. Doesn't matter. it's a bullshit metric in the first place, right? Because like this example here that you see kind of like shows it as well. You can have a 5x ROAS and still lose money. There are other niches that have a ROAS of 1.2 and print money. It really depends on the margin, what kind of product, what kind of offer, and everything else that goes into it, right? So yeah, ROAS doesn't matter. That's kind of an important principle as well, or the underlying principle is in the end it's about profit, right? And then last but not least, if you want to learn more about Google Ads, join the free school community, Google Ads Ecom Labs. It's in the description down below, and see you there. Adios.